Wake up a colony too early and you risk stress. Wake them too late and the season feels delayed before it's even begun. And every year keepers find themselves staring at their ants wondering, is it time? Or am I about to undo everything? Here's the calm truth. You don't need to guess. Your ants will tell you if you know what to look for. Waking a colony isn't flipping a switch. It's guiding a tiny society back into motion after months of stillness. If you wake them too early, metabolism rises before the colony is ready to use that energy. Workers begin moving, but there's no momentum yet. Brood can stall, food goes untouched. Instead of growth, you get quiet hesitation. Leave it too long and you create the opposite problem. Conditions outside the nest are improving, but inside everything is still paused. Egg laying starts late, development lags, the whole season feels slightly behind. So the goal isn't speed, it's alignment. You are trying to match your actions to their biology, not your patience. And the most reliable guide isn't the calendar, it's temperature. Think of temperature like a dimmer switch, not an on-off button. Below roughly 8 degrees Celsius, most temperate species are in deep pause. Movement is rare, metabolism is minimal, brood development often stops entirely at that stage. The best thing you can do is almost nothing. As temperatures rise into the low teens, around 12 degrees or so, something subtle changes. The ants aren't active yet, but internally things begin to stir. Metabolism increases slightly, internal rhythms begin resetting. This is the stage that tempts beginners. You feel like something is happening, so you want to help them. But the colony is just warming the engine, it isn't ready to drive. Once temperatures are consistently sitting around 15 degrees, sometimes a little higher depending on species, you start seeing small but confident changes. Movement increases, sugar can be processed safely, early brood development resumes. These aren't magic numbers, they are guideposts. Most temperate beginner species follow a pattern somewhere around those ranges, and once you understand that, the whole process feels calmer. Now, instead of thinking by species name, it helps to think by adaptation. Some ants evolved expecting real winters. They need that pause, they wake slowly and cautiously. Others are naturally cautious even after winter. They dislike sudden change and take longer to show visible activity. Mediterranean species often rest more lightly. They don't need a deep freeze, just a cooler period. Once room temperatures stabilise, they tend to respond more quickly. And tropical species never evolve for winter at all. For them, chilling is stress, not rest. So rather than asking, is it February yet? You should be asking, what environment did these ants evolve for? Cold adapted species like Lasius, Formica, Tetramorium and Myrmica expect a proper winter pause. Bring them up too quickly and they often respond with hesitation. Underground species like Lasius flavus can be even slower to show visible life. They value stability over speed. Mediterranean ants such as Messor species usually respond well once indoor temperatures stabilise. They don't need dramatic warming, just consistency. And tropical ants like Camponotus nicobarensis shouldn't be chilled at all. Their seasonal changes are more about light and stability than cold rest. But here's the most important part. Dates matter less than behaviour. When a colony is ready, the change isn't dramatic. You don't open a drawer to chaos. You notice something small, an antenna flick, a worker shifting position, the queen uncurling slightly instead of remaining tightly folded. Those tiny changes are far more reliable than any calendar. When you see that and your temperatures are stable in the active range, that's your signal. Most mistakes happen because people rush the next steps. They add heat everywhere. They warm the entire nest. They offer protein immediately. Ants don't need urgency, they need gradual change. The safest wake up is simple. Let them sit at normal room temperature first. Give them a few days without disturbance and sit back and watch quietly. When you see those subtle signs of life, introduce gentle warmth to one side only, so let the ants choose their comfort zone. As activity increases, offer a small droplet of sugar. Protein can wait until you actually see larvae developing. That rhythm works for almost all temperate beginner species. And if something feels off, if the queen looks unusually thin, humidity is poor, there's no response at all, or the winter rest was very short, it's almost always safer to wait a little longer than to push forward. A slightly late wake up rarely causes harm. An early one can create unnecessary stress. When you match temperature to behaviour, and then behaviour to gradual action, waking ant stops feeling like a gamble. It becomes predictable and calm. This is the logic behind timing. So next time we'll go fully practical and walk step by step through the wake up process itself without shocking your colony. After that, we'll move into early spring behaviour, feeding increases, brood growth, and how to know when it's genuinely time to think about expansion. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let's make it fantastic. Farewell.